All right, welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. I want to give a quick thank you to the subscribers of this channel, as well as to those people subscribed to the Twin Tarot with Gary and David channel, with regards to your support for June Wagner. When I checked just prior to recording this video, which is at 8 o'clock, a little after 8 o'clock Pacific time on February 27th, June had surpassed her 1,000 subscriber threshold. Which gets her current. She has checked one of the two boxes needed to monetize. So I want to thank you again for giving her support, subscribing to her channel. Hopefully you'll check out some of her videos, and if you like it, she might become a regular channel for you to watch when she puts up content. Gary and I are talking about doing a little collab with her in the very near future. Matter of fact, it might have happened tonight, except work blew up on me. I literally got done working 15 minutes ago. So, long day. And I started working before 7 and I got done a little just before 8. So, it's a long day today. But stuff happens, and it just required all hands on deck. The nature of the job that I do does require that. On occasion. Not frequently, but on occasion. There are more announcements to come for upcoming collaborations with Gary and myself. And I'll be sharing that once we've confirmed dates. But we might have a very, very interesting one coming on March 6th. I'm very excited for. It's going to be with one of our Australian aunties. So, again, looking really forward to that. The news today. I haven't really followed much of the news today. Been too busy working. It sounds like Trump is backing off the annexation of Canada silliness. Kudos to Sterling. I happened to listen to Sterling and Linda's podcast from this weekend, and he was just saying that, how did he describe it? Trump was just being foolish or stupid. I forget the word he used. But that this was not something to be taken seriously. And it looks like, 4 days later, it's confirmed that, this silliness is going to end. What else? I guess Jim Jordan's committee posted up a link to the Epstein files that got released, and instead of taking you to the Epstein files, it took you to a Rick Astley video. There's a pop culture term called Rickrolled, and it started with, I believe, World of Warcraft. They were going to have a big patch release, and somebody on the boards said, "Oh, I got an early access to the patch release. Here's where you can get it." And they put a hyperlink to Rick Astley singing Never Gonna Give You Up. It's a song from the early 90s, I believe. And that it became synonymous with being tricked, or they call it Rickrolled. And TikTok is filled with humorous videos where you think it's one thing, and then they start playing Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, and then you've been quote-unquote Rickrolled. So the House thought it would be hilarious to release a link to the Epstein files, about raping children and rickrolling people. Tizzy Ent did a video on that tonight where he was pretty outraged, saying, "Hey, look, for the MAGA Republicans, this is where you and I can come to agreement. I want to see everybody on Epstein's list be prosecuted for raping children." And instead of producing that list like they were promised they were going to do, they rickroll you instead. Hilarious. Okay. I don't know what to read on tonight. I don't want to say agonized over this. The Pope is not well. I do kind of want to read on that. My gut feeling says he doesn't recover from this. When I listened to Sterling, he was on the same page with it. So I could read on that one, but I think that's going to be a separate one. What I want to read on, though, is the energy in the U.S. As we go through March. Sterling had predicted that the Pope would pass on the Ides of March, or right around the Ides of March. So that's March 15th. I did look it up. Ides means middle, but also Google says that the Ides is usually associated with the first full moon of the month. So the Ides of March are March 15th. The first full moon of the month is March 14th for 2025. So there you have it. We will go with it from there. But I want to look at the United States starting with the first week of March, and we'll do week by week by week as we go through there. So the first week of March is going to be Saturday. So we'll go through Saturday through Friday, okay? We'll do week by week, and we'll look at the general energy in the U.S. and see if there's anything going on energy-wise that will be of interest. So come on down. This will be for entertainment purposes only, as all my videos are. And we'll just see what's going on. How about just a general theme? So for March, what's going to be the general theme of this month? We're going to see things like we've never seen before. It's about money and impoverished people, so I imagine that's going to be about the budget and budget cuts. And so obviously the budget, House the passing budget is going to be a major thing in March. If the Democrats act and people, Democrats, not only Democrats, but Democrats and Republicans, common peasants, put pressure on their Republican House members, we might be able to stave off the worst of the House's cuts. There's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting, a lot of mayhem happening in March. And honestly, the King of Cups, I'm not sure where to go with this. No, it was easy when it was Biden, but I don't think it's Biden. I think this is just the immaturity of our current leadership and the severity of cuts. I think this is going to be a harsh month where we see things we haven't seen before. Again, fighting. Can we stop the worst behaviors of this current Congress and the emotional immaturity of this current presidential administration? Okay, that's kind of that's the general theme for March. Is that we're going to see things we haven't seen before, and people could potentially be thrown under the bus unless we act with strength and conviction. That 5 of Wands could really be protests, civil disobedience, and not being complicit, passive members of society. Okay, so first week of March. March 1st through March 6th, starting Saturday. What can we expect for the first week of March? First week of March is the High Priestess is the foundation of the reading. We are going to find out some secrets. Secrets will be revealed. What are these secrets in regards to? It's in regards to money. It could be, these secrets could be about individuals, or it could be about the government and how they don't want to spend money on things. Yeah, I think this is going to be about we're going to find out more about the Republicans' plans for this budget, how they plan on cutting spending while not increasing revenues, the impact it's going to have, like on Medicare and Medicaid, on the most susceptible and vulnerable in our community, and it's just like the hits keep coming. There's no good outcome for this. What else can you take away from these people? How do you fight? How do you fight your representatives when your representatives will not represent you? All you can do is say we're not gonna reelect you in 2 years' time, but you have to wait 2 years to do that. Short of recalls, but even recalls take time. So it's almost like what short-term recourse do you have? There's going to be a feeling of powerlessness. And I think that's by design. It's by design because they don't want you to be able to stand up and fight for yourselves on this. Second week. So starting Saturday the 8th through the 14th. What can we expect? More talk on money. Maybe there's compromises on the budget, but there's going to be more money issues in the news. Now, the budget, I believe, has to be passed on March 18th. Let me double check that just for a moment. The power of Google. When is the budget due in the United States in March 2025? March 14th. Okay, so this is going to... The reason why normally I pause when I do that, but in case people think I'm fixing the cards while I'm pausing, no. I'm just literally don't always remember all the dates. So this is going to be the 1st through the 6th, and this is going to be the 7th through the 13th, and the budget's due on the 14th. So this aligns right with the budgets coming here. Here we come with the budget. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so there's corruption. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. You know, are people going to fight the good fight and try and protect folks? They might. It won't matter. They're going to serve Trump. The Republicans have shown their fealty to Donald Trump. And it's a brave new world. I'm really sorry about that. And again, me personally, I will be okay. I feel awful for folks who are relying on the promise of the government to help them along with their basic needs. Because those are the people who are just going to get brutalized by this. And I'm not trying to scare you. It's empathy. This is so unnecessary. But for those people, I would say start looking now into what programs you might be able to get into. And I don't mean Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid or anything along those lines, but looking into your community. What programs do they have? Like if Meals on Wheels suddenly isn't funded, is there a church? Is there a charitable organization? Is there something that helps provide services for marginalized people of lower income, socioeconomic status that can help you? It might be banding together with neighbors or leaning on family a little bit more, however that looks. I don't have all the answers for it, and I can give all those answers, and there's going to be at least one person who's like, but I don't have that, but I don't have that, but I don't have that. What do I do? I don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry. I really don't. And this is why this aggravates me. Because for some people there is an option. For others there isn't. And how do you help? So that's leading up to the budget. I do believe they will get that budget passed. Every reading I've done has shown that this budget gets passed. Okay, so now we're going to start on the March 15th through the 21st. Okay, now the hell begins. They passed this budget, and I think this is when the American people finally start getting fed up, and here come the protests. Here comes the energy. Here comes the anger. This Five of Wands is, what's coming next. This could be This could be fighting across overseas, but I think this is. I think there might be an energy pulse in the world, not only in the U.S. but maybe across the world too. Let's see what else we have. We've got the Hermit card and the Ace of Cups. Yeah. I was just looking at the bottom deck. The Two of Wands. This is a month where the ideas that were the Ace of Wands, the ideas that were postulated when Trump came into office, this is the month where they're starting to be implemented. The ideas are being put to the test, and we'll start to see what happens. This is kind of the waiting to see what happens. But March is starting to move it forward, and then we will start to see what happens after that. But I think there's going to be a lot of energy in the United States in the form of protests. There could be a spike in the Middle East between Hamas and Israel. And I say that because the 3 of Wands could be an overseas card. There's going to be a lot of energy. This is also the people showing us who they are, and it's also the F around and find out. Congress wants to do this, they can do that, but the emotions people have are going to be, the passion for people is coming out. Some people may not handle this in a very enlightened manner. That's what you've got coming on after the U.S. passes their budget in March. So this is the 1st, this is the 18th, this is the 15th. So now on the 22nd of March, the programs, the budget cuts and everything like that that impact impoverished people, they start coming online. Payments are stopped. No, this is where the payments are stopping. And this is where charity on your fellow man needs to start, needs to fire up. We've got the 2 of Swords. We've got 6 of Coins as the foundation, the 2 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Cups is underneath here. So now it's what do we do with the bottom 50% of the population that's going to be impacted by these cuts. Choices need to be made. Emotions contained or emotions exploding. I do, and celebrations. It's funny. The party of family values only seems to value families that are wealthy. I don't know how else to put it. Honestly, when you start alienating the lower half of the population, this is a period of time where America and its citizenry are at a crossroads. Who do you direct your anger to? Are you going to sit there and take it? Or are you going to let your fury known? That where I'm going with this 10 of Cups is this could be the start of what starts uniting people. It's a process that'll take time, but this is where you start finding your common enemy. And it's the wealthy versus the impoverished. March 1st, March 8th, 15th, 22nd, and now at the end of March on 29th. Yeah, by the way, here's your Ides of March too. Will the Pope pass on that point? There could be a lot of action. This could also be, Sterling may be right, this might be when the Pope finally passes and follows the light to the other side. At the end of March going into April, there's a feeling of hopelessness, victimization, being trapped. Now, if you take that hillbilly brawl energy, you're empowering yourself. If you don't, you're going to feel trapped. It kind of happens with what you do with that 2 of Swords cards. After the energy over here, with the protests, things calm down for a little bit. People are starting to get resigned on their fates. People start, but what there might be happening here is while you're feeling hopeless, there's a regrouping, a reorganization, a planning as to what's going to happen next. Taxes are due. Taxes are due. It's all money. Oh, okay. This could be economic stuff. By doing this, we might have sealed our fate with the economy, where the economy is going to start slowing down, and it impacts businesses, unemployment, stock markets, stuff along those lines. There's money issues, things slowing down. And there's like that path looking for a way out. How do we, now that we've made this decision, how do we keep making money? How do we keep making it rain money when people are feeling despondent? Remember, and Bella of the Ranch had this on the other day, the economy, how did she put it? The economy and the stock market, they're not, it's not a one-to-one correlation. the stock market is kind of a future-looking vehicle where people like, where do we see the country going? What companies do we think are going to make money? And the stock market is a illustration of that. The economy could be defined by by metrics of growth and money spent, but the economy is absolutely driven by emotion. So if people are fearful about the economy, then they tend to retract. Where's my 4 of coins here? They tend to retract. They'll hold on to their money. They might put off some non-discretionary spending because they're not feeling comfortable. And by not purchasing things and doing that with the economy starts slowing down. Oh, yes. As this goes up, this will also be going up on February 28th, which is the Don't Buy Anything Today Day. I don't know how successful that will be, but, if it sends a message, great. I don't really know what kind of message that's going to send, because it just means you either bought it beforehand or you're buying it after, right? So, for a day, maybe sales are down. And if you work on tips, it's probably not going to be the day you want to work. But over the course of the month, if you were to look at how much revenue came in, there probably wouldn't even be a blip. I'm not trying to talk it down. I'm just saying that's how I see it. What would make the difference is if the 28th is the day that you decide that you are going to cut your monthly spending by 10%. If you spend $1,000 a month on food, you are only going to spend $900 the next month and every following month thereafter on food. If you spend $200 a month on gasoline, petrol for your car, then you're going to try and only spend $180 for petrol on your car, which might require walking a little bit more, not doing certain trips or grouping trips, carpooling with somebody. You know what I mean? It's just, that's how you impact the economy, is by spending less and then continuing to lower that threshold of spending. That's how you slow things down. And as Bill Clinton said, it's the economy, stupid. You want the Republicans out of office? The economy. This is what the Republicans were doing to Biden. They were trying to crash the economy every chance they could get, because they knew that if they could do that, then Biden would not get reelected. It seems unpatriotic, but is it patriotic when the Democrats do it and the Republicans? No, not really. But here's the thing. What the Republicans are doing with their budget plans is unconscionable. Sorry if I'm pontificating here. It's one thing if you're trying to cut government spending. That's fine. But the way they're doing it is not surgical, nor is it strategic. It's literally throwing a grenade into a crowded room and say you're doing precision surgery. No, you're not. You're just blowing a bunch of people up and then figure everybody else is going to, pick up the slack by working harder. That's not how you go about it. That's not the right way to do it. And if you want to cause anguish to the wealthiest, you cut your spending. And then all of a sudden, their investments aren't worth as much, and they start losing money or hemorrhaging money because some of them are really leveraged. It's kind of a way to get back at them until maybe they start listening and stop taking advantage of marginalized groups of people. I'll leave my soapbox here. It's going to be a tough month. And we're going to see things we haven't seen, and I think people are going to be marginalized people, the most vulnerable people are going to be abused in this way. I could be wrong. The energy can change if we fight and put it towards the light and really putting the pressure on our politicians, because collectively there isn't a spine amongst them, especially on the Republican side. So you can push them and bully them into doing the right thing. But you got a bully on the inside. You have to fight with Trump, and they're just as scared of him. They're probably more scared of him than they are of us, which is ridiculous because they're supposed to represent us. Sorry. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful. It is for entertainment purposes only, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.